feel so alone. Gonna end up a big old pile of memories. Told you bad dream come true. I lived and gone under red sky. I feel so alone, gonna end up a big old pile of them. I feel so alone, gonna end up a big old pile of them. I feel so alone, gonna end up a big old pile of them bones.
I like this one.
Yeah, good guitar work.
Yeah, I love the guitar.
Quite good.
It was great dimension to the song, as well as the backup singing for the song actually highlights the amazing vocal artistry that was done for this song. So it added a huge impact on the way the vocals sounded. Not just solo vocalist singing, but also the backup singers. They did a fabulous job, the band members. They would set it up like, start at I, and then after that you would just follow. So it was them taking the lead and the lead vocalist taking the follow, like a follower's job in the song. I like this composition. I like the way they arranged it. From the lyrics of the song, it sounds like, I could be wrong, first time listening as it is, but it felt like somebody who's living a life that is more like a dead person, and he knows that, there is nothing really that he's able to do, and he'll also be just like so many people who are dead and gone and forgotten, don't matter, kind of thing. So that's what I think on the first listen today.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many people who are living a life like that. For me, it felt like it was actually like, it could also mean that they actually found bones, and they were reminded of the history of their country.
Oh, yes.
Where under the Red Sun, a lot of horrific crimes were committed by the British and Dutch invaders, as well as other colonial invaders,
French and
who raped, looted, literally brutally murdered, tortured and murdered the Indians and the natives of the land, and robbed the land from them, and then called it America. How shameless can one be? I don't know. But all that is not taught in the American history books. Obviously, they don't want to. They are so ashamed and embarrassed of what they've done that they don't want to let their kids know and the future generation know how they got the land. So it reminded me of that. It may not be of that scenario, but when the Red Sun came, under the Red Sun and all, I felt it was more about the Indians of the past, how brutally they were tortured and murdered, and the land stolen from them.
Last year, I think it was last year, Savio, when the news broke out of the horrific genocide that was conducted by the church in Canada, and so many burial graves, burial grounds and graves that were found of young children, super young children, school-going children, and so many of them at once. So yeah, it could be based on one of those.
Yeah, so when you have to live with something like that as an American, I mean, it definitely must be quite embarrassing, and also must be, you must be filled with guilt. Most Americans who come on this reaction video, sometime or the other in their life, when they know about all these things that have happened in their country and continue to happen in many different ways. America is certainly the most racist nation in the world today. So when you come across things like that, it must be quite embarrassing, and they must be feeling quite guilty, especially if they are not one of those who are doing these crimes. So yeah, it reminded me of that, and this seems to be one person who's kind of standing up for all those bones who didn't have a voice. So for me, this is what the song was about. But yeah, well sung and quite repetitive, but it's okay. It was a short song anyway. and the guitar work exceptional. The bass
Exceptional is
guitar
the right word.
sounded like the bass guitar player, but I
Yeah.
could be wrong.
Yeah.
You know, nowadays it's so difficult to think what is real music and what is manipulated when it comes to American and Brit music. So it's difficult to tell for us as outsiders.